How you doing this evening, Tony?
Oh man, I'm doing great. Mike, how about yourself?
I am marvelous. I appreciate you taking the time to sit down and chat tonight.
Oh, no problem, man. I'm all excited and everything. I don't get to do too much, so this is fun.
Right? Absolutely. I enjoy them. Uh, so let's start here. Outside of vaping, what else do you like to do? You got any other hobbies or just things that you enjoy?
Oh my word. As you can see behind me, we got me and my wife, we got a lot of fish aquariums.
Right.
We got a big round front in the living room, and we love our fish. So that's one little hobby. Uh, of course, I got chickens in the backyard because I love my fresh eggs. Grow a garden every year. Tomatoes, of course. A happy wife is a happy life. You know what I'm saying? I play a little guitar. I've been playing ever since I was 10 years old. Write my own music and stuff. And then I love mixing flavors. I mean, oh, you know,
I would have never guessed that.
really.
Uh,
I'm just a long-haired flower sniffing hippie. That's all it is.
ain't
There's
nothing
the
wrong
real
with
hippie right there.
that.
Yeah, he's my buddy.
Uh, so how long did you smoke?
Oh man. Um, it, I was on Pippa's show on DIY Down Under, and I kind of got a little bit into it. I didn't want to, stretch it out real long in that short of period of time of that show we were doing. And I started smoking when I was 10 years old. And I started rebelling at the age of 10, should I say.
Right.
Uh, my older brother, I think I'd seen him get in trouble for smoking a cigarette, so, and I looked up to my, older brother, and I found out that, I know this is getting kind of sobby, but it's okay. It's not bad. I found out that I was adopted, that wasn't my real father, that I had a real dad at 10 years old. My mom told me because she was pregnant, and was trying to explain to me this will be your half brother. And these are your step brothers, which were my dad's. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
I started smoking. I wanted to rebel, and it wasn't every day. I'd sneak a cigarette here or there, from my brother, or we'd dip, go bicycle riding and dip. And then about age 14, I started getting really heavy into smoking and started getting caught by my mom a lot. And I just never looked back. I just kept smoking. My mom, finally gave up trying to get me to quit. She was one of them parents where she sat me down. She sent my brother to go get a pack of Marlboro Reds, the shorts, sat me down in front of the fireplace, said, "Fire it up, Tony." Hand me the whole pack, a lighter and an ashtray. She said, "Fire it up." I fired it up, packed it. She goes, "Oh, you big and bad now. You can pack them cigarettes, huh?" I said, "Yes, ma'am. That's how you get them taste good, you know?" So she fired up. I said, fired it up and everything. And I smoked it and put it out and everything and leaned back in the recliner. The fire's going. We watching TV and everything. She says, "What are you doing?" I said, "Nothing." She says, "Fire up another one." I said, "Huh?" She goes, "Fire up another one." So I said, "Okay." So I fired up another one. I'm sitting there smoking in the house. I'm feeling all good. I put that one out and she just kept going and going. And I was like, oh, Lord. About 3/4 through that pack, I was blue in the face and about to get sicker than a dog, man. She thought that would cure me, but it didn't.
Right. All that taught you was not to smoke that many in a row.
Yeah. But I'll be 52 this month. So I smoked all the way up. And let's see, I hadn't been smoking now in 4 years, I think now. I think 4 years. 2014, yeah, 4 years. So, and at the end, I mean, I never looked. I smoked a pack and a half a day. Then when I was about 40, I started, you know, coughing a lot, couldn't hardly breathe, activities. It got to a point where at that time I was on a fixed income, and if I couldn't buy packs, regular cigarettes, I'd have to buy the roll-ups. So the last 10 years that I smoked were roll-up cigarettes with no filter.
Right.
And it got to the point where I couldn't breathe. I went to the doctor, and they did all kind of tests on me. I got emphysema and COPD. I couldn't breathe. I'm for real. They put me on oxygen, a nebulizer machine. Oh man, inhaler. I just had it just a little while ago. Don't know what. Oh, there it is. Inhalers. I still use them every once in a while, but I was that bad. And I had seen the little electronic cigarettes out, you know, but they didn't promote them here in the state of Alabama that much. You would see them in like the little convenience stores or something, you know,
Right.
or the gas station shops, you know. And I saw those and I said, okay, well, my next door neighbor vaped, and she had one of them ego pens, them long, one, but hers was all fancy. You had to actually turn the temperature up on it and everything. She said, you ought to get you one of these. It's just like smoking a cigarette. It's a real tight draw and everything, and you got flavors. And I was like, cool. So it got to the point where I just could not wake up and smoke a cigarette. I couldn't breathe. I kept coughing. And sleeping with that damn oxygen mask on every night, it just was very uncomfortable. I was like, man, there's got to be a better way, man. You know, so I bought one of them Kanger pens, Kanger EVODs, and then started trying them little cartomizers in the store. And I was like, man, this ain't bad. I don't cough when I'm hitting this. And I vaped on them for about a year. Then I moved up to the Kanger. I still got it too. Oh my word, this bad boy, 50 water. And that's when I started sub-ohming, and I haven't looked back since either. And I'm not on oxygen. Vaping saved my life for real. I'm not on the oxygen machine no more. I don't use my nebulizer anymore. I can breathe. I can get out and do work around the yard. I feel more energetic. I mean, I don't see how these people keep, you know, thinking vaping is bad. It is not, man. It truly saved my life. But yeah, man, I love vaping.
Yeah. So how long have you been mixing?
Well, like I said, when I first started, I didn't even know anything about DIY, but I was smart enough to know how to change the cotton in the vault coils that came in that Kanger EVOD. It was a 0.5 ohm coil, and it was like about a 7 wrap on like a 2 millimeter bit. I mean, it was real tiny coils, you know. And I would rebuild them because I saw how they were doing, you know, did them, and I learned about Canthal. So I first started learning about rebuilding wires for coils, so I wouldn't have to spend the money to buy coils. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, once I started doing that, then I started looking at DIY, and all of a sudden I saw DIY e-juice. I'm like, what? You know? And I didn't pay no mind or attention to it. So about a year after I was vaping, passed me by, you know, and I got up to the sub-ohming and was noticing that I was going through a lot more juice quicker.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. So I said, man, I was getting vaping only 200 mils a month at that time. You know what I'm talking about? Those are the good old days. Now it's lucky if I vape, about 400, 500 mils a month. But yeah, man. So I started mixing, learning. My first mixer that I saw actually was Wayne Walker's. What was it? That orange creamsicle, I think it was. And his description, I was hooked. I was like, damn, that looks easy, and damn, I know how to taste test stuff, you know. And then I saw Addy for a little while. East Coast, man. I tell you what, he had a bunch of recipes back in the day too. Uh, he's the one that taught me the boosted recipe, so I learned that one, and I'm like, well, daggone, I'm sitting here looking at flavorings now, so I'm wanting to mix and see if I can, But I didn't know about the other websites like Bull City and Nicotine River and all these other companies, like I did back then. All I knew of is the main companies. So I was ordering flavors from TFA or the Perfumer's Apprentice, and they weren't cheap back then. I mean, they weren't expensive, but I'm on a fixed income, so I was trying to do it the cheap way, and I was going to do it. And my first mixes sucked. And then my second mix is still to this day one of my favorite ones. So I've been mixing now for almost 3 years, going on 3 years now, mixing solid and not really buying any e-juice from the store, which I know is bad. You're supposed to support your stores, but I just didn't have the money. So really, a lot of these I've just come up on my own, and I haven't looked back and then everybody that's tasted my e-juice that have bought the store stuff, they said, man, that tastes exactly like, ecstasy, all this stuff, just like it, but I just name it simple stuff, But yeah, I've been mixing about 3 years now. I love it.
How many concentrates are you up to, do you think? Rough guess.
This one's don't laugh now. You probably have more flavors than I do. I'm dead serious. I just calculated because I just got 12 new flavorings that I'm trying out. Wonder Flavors and Vape Train. But I've got 310 flavors, and that's it. That's it. 310 flavors, and there's so much that I can do with all the flavorings I have because I did my research. And research is the key in mixing and trying to save money without messing up. Now, of course, sometimes I'll order something that's just, you know what I'm talking about? You got one of them, I know you do. But yeah, you learn like that. And some of these new companies, I'm really, really nervous because there's not much information on them, But yeah, I don't have that many, but I have the main flavorings that are tried and true. A lot of them are older flavorings, TPA, Flavor Art, my wife keeps texting me. Flavor West, Capella. I do have Flavor now, a few one-on-ones, Inueras, few Liquid Barns, but basic flavorings, I don't have a lot of the newer companies because, money's tight sometimes. But I know what I like. See, everybody has their own preference and taste, but it's what I like to vape. And it's something I like. Once you know your flavorings and you really know them well and how much you can push them and stuff, I mean, you got it. I mean, if like right now, I went grocery store. Grocery stores, I love going grocery shopping. I look at stuff like this is a kiwi strawberry drink. it's like a candy Jolly Rancher drink taste is what it actually is. After I let it get hot, actually, you can taste the notes better when it's a warm soda instead
Right.
of being cold. You can taste what's in it. But yeah, I don't have that many flavorings. Uh, you know.
I don't have a, I don't have a whole lot more than you do. I think I'm right around 400 in the truck with me. Uh, but that's just it's a lot to keep up with in the truck.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I saw the one. I've been watching your channel, doing some really good work. I've been watching some of how you mix them at home to where you can take them on the road with you and stuff. I thought that was really, really interesting. Your bases,
Right,
just like one shots,
right,
Yeah.
absolutely. Uh, and that's just for sometimes I just don't have a lot of time at night to mix. By the time I drive all day and then I take a shower and I eat, talk to my other half, there's not a lot of time left before I got to go to bed. So doing those one shot things makes it quicker because that's really easy to mix up. You just fill it to the lines on the bottle and you're done with it. Uh,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
so do you still do single flavor tests, I'm assuming?
That's all I do. I feel like that's all I do anymore is single taste test. I'm telling you, it's like this whole tray here, it's all 15 mils of certain flavorings. Like I was watching Fresh O 3 the other day, and they were talking about the champagne soda by Wonder Flavors has like a baby powder note to it, and I like now this has been steeping for a month, and the baby powder note's actually going away from it now, so it's a long steeper, so. But yes, I single taste test all my flavorings, and sometimes it gets just overwhelming. But you have to do it because sometimes you'll forget what a strawberry tastes like if it's been a while, and like you'll get in a rut, like I'm in a rut right now. I'm
Me
not,
too.
I'm not burnt out. Okay, another thing, everybody's asking me, Tony, when are you going to come out with a new video? No, you haven't come out with, I had to take a break, like I'll sit here and look at my flavorings and just can't think of anything. I mean, just mind block. Uh, like yeah, I went to the store today and saw, like I said, these flavorings, and I'm sitting here thinking, well, I don't know if I got the right flavoring to make that, and then it makes me spend more money, which that money I don't have. So,
Right, right, right. Do you have a favorite concentrate?
oh no, oh man, uh, for a single flavor,
Yeah, just to concentrate that if you can find a way to sneak it into a recipe, it's going in there. Kind of like Fresh O3 was with his with his black currant there for a while.
don't laugh. You promise you won't laugh.
Yeah, I won't laugh at you.
Honeysuckle.
Oh, I like honeysuckle.
Honeysuckle from the Flavor Apprentice. Oh man, I used to just sneak that one in a lot of my recipes that I put out on my channel. That was the one that just brought like a crisp, clean taste to my vapes, and kind of smoothed some harsh edges out too. That's little tricks I learned how to do, blending and make, which one's going to overpower the other one, which one do you want to be more prominent,
Right.
but yeah, I'd have to say my favorite flavor. I know everybody'd be saying, maybe a custard or a strawberry ripe, or now, white peach flavor arts, white peach, there's so many, really good ones, but a different that I like sneaking in a recipe. See, that was the trick question. You got me on that one. Which one do you sneak in there? It's honeysuckle.
Yeah. So you were talking. You have a YouTube channel. What what made you want to start a channel for mixing?
Well, like I said, I first started out watching, of course, Wayne. There wasn't too many mixers back in the day. There was only a few that was really out there. You had Wayne Walker, Fresh '03. Addy Tooney did have some mixing videos, if I'm not mistaken. A long time ago, there was Addy's my hero. He's the one that taught me how to keep my percentages low.
Right.
Uh, but I started watching their videos, and I was like, man, I had like my first recipe was peach addiction that I came up with. And how I came up with that one was a vape shop juice. I used to go to a vape shop and learn coil building. That's back in the day when they used to help people like that, build the coils right in front of you, you know, and teach you stuff. They had a juice, it was just peach custard, you know, and they were selling it for like $25, $30 for a 30 ml bottle, you know. It was like a fancy label and everything on it and stuff. And I was like, daggone it, I'm going to learn how to make that damn juice. And my first take on that was just spot on, perfect. And it was peach addiction. And I tell you what, I lost the train of thought. What were we talking about again?
Oh, what made you want to start your channel?
Peach addiction. That I had spitting seeds because I was remixing other people's juices that I tasted from when I was buying them. So I started coming up with my own recipes. And I had probably maybe 20 solid recipes when I first started my YouTube channel. I said, you know, I see all these other guys on there. Why not just throw out some videos and, you know, just to have something to do, because vaping was fun to me. I couldn't stop talking about vaping. My wife used to tell me to shut the hell up because that's all I talked about was vaping. And so I didn't have no outlet, and my outlet was mixing. And so I started mixing. I started doing videos and putting out videos and just saying, you know, just say, this is before I knew to post the video in my ELR page and stuff. And I mean, it was just blind. I mean, I acted goofy on there, you know. I'm not the, you know, I do act goofy, but it's just funniness, you know. But I said, what the hell, man? Give some people some decent vapes, something they can vape. You know, you're not charging nobody for nothing, you know. You're teaching them how to mix, you know. Why not teach them what you've learned, you know, and spreading the word of vaping. And that's what got me in, you know, all of that, you know, just because I already had recipes. It's like, hell, man, I could come up with a recipe a week. And then I did that challenge for myself. Do a recipe a week, every week, every week, every week. Yep, like a broken record. Oh, yes.
Sometimes there was 2 a week.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's when I was in my good mood. Oh, man, inspiration.
Now, I think I stumbled across your channel. I was watching Fresh one day, and you know, like Fresh does, he said that we ought to go check out your channel. So I come over and checked it out. Now on your channel, I have watched you mix. I've watched all your videos, by the way. But I have watched you mix. I have watched you talk about testing flavors. I've watched you build coils, tell people how to renew their store-bought sub-ohm tank coils, and chickens. So how's the chickens doing?
I'm getting about, on average, 2 to 3 eggs a day because I got 3 hens. Uh, I got a Rhode Island Red. She's the bully. She's the boss. She's in the pecking order. She's the boss. And then I got Oreo, which is oh shoot, a Brock chicken. It's black and white dotted. And then I got a golden sec chicken, which is a yellow and white one they all lay brown eggs. But yeah, I've had them. I had video of or something a long time ago, I think, where I had myself outside with chickens and chicken coop me and my stepson built.
Right, right. And that question actually came from a viewer. Wanted to know if you still had the chickens and how they were doing.
Oh yeah, if it was up to me, their names would be fried, baked, or boiled. Okay, but my wife and my nieces were like, no. So we got Oreo is the black and white one, Tweety is the golden sec, and Irene is the Rhode Island Red.
In all your videos, and even now, you know, you're always smiling, you're always happy, you're always carrying on. Somebody wanted to know what puts the biggest smile on your face. What in your life just puts the biggest smile on your face?
To be helping people, helping people learn the right way. You know, just helping people makes me feel good. It really does. That brings a big smile to my face, and like I said, I'm you know, I'm just a happy-go-lucky guy. You know, that's just the way I was raised. You know, to always have a good attitude. Try to have a good attitude in your life. You know, that's what brings a smile to my face.
Oh, good deal. So, if somebody could put you in a room with 3 or 4 mixers, anybody that you wanted to be in a room with, just to meet and sit down and talk with them, whether it's about DIY or whatever, who would they be?
Ooh, Fresh Oak 3 and Addy Tooney for sure. For sure, both of them. And oh man. See, that's a good one. Mainly them two. I'd just love to sit down and talk to them two right there. You know, like Addy taught Fresh how to mix. You know, you probably already knew that.
Right.
I got a friend of mine that I've known for a little over a year now, Scott Rollins. I got him into mixing and learning to build coils and everything, and he's really, really good. He's got his own channel, Simple Vapes is his name.
Right.
So if you probably met him in a lot of the chats. That's Simple Vapes. Yeah, man, that's my friend. I talked to him right before I got on with you guys and everything. But yeah, man, I'd like to meet him. You know, because he's the reason why I like my friend Scott, and he's such a good one. He's only been mixing for like 6 months, maybe a year. You know, well, a year since I've met him. He'll tell you exactly, his taste buds are like mine. He'll tell you and explain to you what that flavor actually tastes like. Like he'll give you a description. This cake, you ever had this cake at the store? You know, this pound cake? That's exactly what this flavor and taste like, is that certain one, you know? But yeah, them two would be, I'd love to sit down with Addy and Fresh for real, man. That'd be fun.
They would be on my list for sure. Now, I seen somewhere on one of your videos you were talking about for watermelon vapes, put 1 drop of licorice in there.
That's correct. That is correct.
And when I was explaining to somebody to do this, the biggest question that come up, I want to know, what does that do to the watermelon? But the biggest question was, how in the heck does somebody figure that out?
uh, actually, I learned it from someone else. I think it was Chef. I think that Chef or something other. Daggone, I can't remember. Just Chef is all I know. He was a mixer on YouTube. I hadn't seen him lately on his channel or anything, but he was reviewing other people's mixes as well. But he's a real chef in real life.
Right.
And but I experimented with it. But what I learned something really valuable about that little trick is the one drop is meant for like a 60 mil bottle, really, not the 30 mils or anything smaller. It's too much if you use TFA's black licorice, because you will taste it. Uh, it'll come out more than you want to.
Right.
You know, what the black licorice does, it makes the watermelon juicy. It actually makes your mouth feel black licorice. If you ate black licorice all by itself, it makes your mouth water.
Right.
So that's exactly the effect that you're giving that watermelon flavoring. But you got to watch out. So it acts up sometimes with the Loran watermelon because it's a candy, and you got to be careful with that one.
Okay. Do you mix other people's recipes?
Matter, like I said, I don't have a lot of flavorings. I put on my channel like donate, so I get a couple donations, and that's how I got to the flavorings I'm at now. And of course, I buy what I can too. And I sometimes I don't have the flavorings that's in their recipes, so I have to try to substitute flavorings. But most of the time, if I do, like, I will tell you one Wayne Walker recipe, the POG, Hawaiian POG, but I changed the percentages a lot lower, and I love that vape. That's a good vape. And then the other one is a Wayne Walker, but I changed his recipe because I can't vape Capella Vanilla Custard version 1 to save my life. I mean, I can vape it for a short period of time, and then I'll start coughing because of my COPD and emphysema. It's just certain flavorings. So instead of putting the vanilla custard in that vape, I use TFA's vanilla custard. And it was my custard. I made that. I'm vaping on. I call it custard de hippie. But I just changed a couple of the percentages, but yeah, I mix Fresh's stuff. Yeah, I mix other people's stuff and try it out. You know, there's certain vapes that I don't get into, so you know, it kind of limits. I love my fruits, berries, and creams, cheesecakes, caramels, butterscotches. Mix some ginger and butterscotch together. Oh my word. But yeah, I mix other people's stuff. Like the Dinner Lady Lemon Tart. Like I have my own version of it. It's lemon tart, but it's exactly like the lemon meringue pie type, lemon ecstasy type vape, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I just try to come up with it on my own and get as close to the flavoring as I can. But yeah, I mix other people's stuff up. I try.
Right. I mean, and in the end, that's what it's all about. It's. I mean, while we want to make stuff that other people like, it's about making stuff that you can vape, stuff that tastes good to you. That's why you always hear, you know, taste is subjective. How you taste the lemon may not be how I taste the lemon, you know. So it's all about making something that you like. And that's the great part about DIY. We can take Wayne's recipe and change it around to where it's the same kind of profile, but it fits our taste. Uh, so I think that's really good too.
Yeah, I do a lot of low. I try to keep my percentages on flavorings low. And the reason why I do that a lot of times is because I can't vape something that's really, really overpowering or strong because of my conditions. You know, a lot like, some of the flavorings will have a lot of acetone or whatever in them, and it just gets my lungs really bad because I have COPD and emphysema.
Right.
So there's a lot of vapes, like I'll look at the recipes on ELR and all the flavorings, and I'll be like, there ain't no daggone, I'll have to cut that in half or something.
I see. So, of your recipes, if you was gonna like tell somebody to mix two or three recipes that would not really define Hippie, but just let people get to know who you are, what would you tell them to mix?
Ooh, man. Well, if they're, first off, you would have to ask the person, you know, what is your flavor? What kind of flavors do you like? First off, or do you like fruits or berries, or do you like cheesecakes or creams or pies or cakes or donuts, or the flavorings are endless, but you got to know what they've got really. um if I if it was for a beginner and they liked real nice peach custard with like just three ingredients, I'd recommend my peach addiction recipe.
I love
three,
that recipe.
three ingredients, and it's, even though it's at 15%, it works and it's good. Yeah, right off the shake and bake, it's just phenomenal. Right? I'd give them that one. Now, if they were more experienced and had the flavorings, I would. I've got so many versions of this recipe through the rabbit hole. It's a strawberry cheesecake, graham cracker cheesecake, that's really thick and decadent, and I vape it just all the time. I mean, I always have it around. That's a really good strawberry cheesecake, but it has a lot of ingredients. So that would stop, and you can't really substitute what I'm putting in it. I've tried different ways, and there's just no way. Um, but yeah, those two for sure. Hold on. There's so many. I've put out so many recipes, Mike, for real. It's hard to pick just one. It really is. I mean, or a few even.
Right.
Um, my apple pie is really good. I'm actually thinking about doing some more videos coming up. I'm gonna redo that apple pie recipe, and because I've got some better flavorings in now, and that I think would work really, really good in it. But apple pie, uh, that blackberry cobbler, oh my word, that one, I drool over it all the time.
I haven't mixed that one. I need to mix that.
It's really, let it sit for a good 3 days and let it really calm down just a hair, and it's just out of this world. I mean, oh, this
Well,
stuff ought to be on a shelf for real. It really should.
well, I love blackberry, but it's blackberry sometimes is hard to work with without it getting too floral on you.
This one
Um,
has no floral whatsoever. I mean, it, because of that blue. This one has blueberry also from Flavor West in it. with blackberry from the Flavor Apprentice.
Right.
And oh my word, those two together just, oh. But yeah, those four I'd recommend for people to mix, to really represent. I mean, like I said, the ones that, anything that has honeysuckle in it, you ought to give it a go on my channel.
Well, and that's something too that people need to understand about, because a lot of people see a floral in a recipe and they assume that it's going to taste like flowers. Now, that honeysuckle, it really isn't that strong, so it's kind of forgiving on the percentage that you can use it at. And B, it's more of a certain kind of sweetness than it is a floral.
Right.
So I think when people see honeysuckle, sometimes that scares them off. But you're the reason why I bought honeysuckle.
Have you bought hibiscus?
I have not yet.
Capella hibiscus. Make my hippie days recipe. Oh my word, that's a good one for you to. Oh yeah, try my hippie days. That's a good strawberry hibiscus type. It's so good though. It's real rich and creamy strawberry.
I'll have to give that a try too. I like hibiscus. I drink hibiscus tea at home all the time.
It's not really floral. That's
Right.
what gets me. But now jasmine's a little floral. I've got jasmine up there. I play with it with the honeysuckle a little bit sometimes. But like cherry blossom, now that's floral. That blackberry from Flavor Art, it's real floral.
Right.
But yeah, I know the floral note. It's like almost a chemical note that turns into sometimes if you mix it with certain creams. It's oh my word.
So who influenced you most as a mixer? I think I already know the answer, but
see, that's a toss up, really. It'd have to be Fresh 03. Fresh 03, really. He influenced me to step out of the box. You know, he's the one that I started watching the flavorings he used, and he kept putting out a lot of videos. So he had the content. So the more content that I could get my hands on and learn about mixing, you know, it was the person who put out the most daggone videos, you know, and I was watching the hell out of them, excuse my French, but, you know, I did, like I said, I did a lot of research, and I still do research. I still watch other channels. I have fun. That's all it is. It's just I have fun doing it, and I try to do it as much as I can. But that once a week, I just can't do that. I got, you know, responsibilities. But I enjoy it. And like I said before, right now I'm mind blocked. Like I've got like 6 daggone 15 mils over here that got butter pecan in them, and they're about to drive me up a freaking wall. Taste testers of recipes. You see what I'm talking about? I mean, I've got the same recipe, mind you, the same daggone recipe now, but this many versions of that same recipe where one thing's missing or something's changed or percentage, and oh my word. But
yeah, I think that's the fun part though. Sometimes is chasing stuff down that you're trying to get. And like I said a while ago, I've been in a mixing slump for a while. And it's not that what I'm mixing doesn't taste good, but it's not what I had in my head when I set out to make it. So I'm kind of stubborn in that way. Even though I think it's good, it's just not what I wanted. So I still won't put it out.
yeah, I'm the same way. When I mix, now I have put out a few bad recipes. I'll
We
admit.
all have. We all.
but I pretty much I test them. I really, really do. And if they taste good to me, then I'll put it out. That uh, but I try to keep them as simple as I can to help people. Now I could get some, some that have 15 different flavorings in them, but they all at small percentages,
Right.
but that's just overkill.
Right. Uh, and I haven't figured out yet if I think it's getting easier to mix or more difficult because, like, a lot of the Wonder flavors, especially the Wonder flavors, they're very complex in just a single concentrate. Um, so if you go adding too much stuff with them, then it kind of tastes muddled and they react in a strange way. Uh, but there again, what it used to take us 4 or 5 concentrates to get to, it's in one bottle now, you know. So
Yeah, a lot of the newer companies, that's another thing that's got me too right now. I'm in the process of trying. I mean, I had to get some Nick and VG this month, so I couldn't afford flavorings, But like I said, I'm scared to buy some of these new flavorings because I've got a few Wonder flavors, Vape Train, and what's the other one that's out now that's new? Oh shoot, I can't think of the name of it. But I noticed uh, they're really highly concentrated. Um, and they are like single shots almost. They're hard to mix with other flavorings
right,
unless it's from that same flavoring company,
right,
or you'll get an off note. Uh, but I see, that's what I'm having problems with. It's mixed. Well, I did try Ren Vapes. I do like her too. She's a good mixer. Red Tea Blend. Now I did mix that up, but I changed the pineapple candy in that, and it uses the hibiscus candy from Wonder Flavors. Now that's a really good flavor too. It's real candy. And the hibiscus, after maybe about 7 days to 10 days, it's not floral at all. It tastes really, really good. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about on the newer flavors. I'm having a problem with them. And no offense to any other mixers out there or whatever that have channels or anything. This has nothing bad. It's what I'm meaning. The vanilla ice cream by Liquid Born and that pudding base or custard base, that vanilla ice cream, I can't have it that high. It's just too much for me.
right,
So I pretty much lower that base down to where there's only like 1.5 to 2% of vanilla ice cream from Liquid Barn to like 1/4% of vanilla pudding. Now, it doesn't bother me, the vanilla pudding. It's just that vanilla ice cream is so thick to me where
right.
it gives me vape tongue. Uh, so, interesting.
Absolutely. So what would be advice for a new mixer? Somebody just starting out.
Definitely watch videos. Uh, watch the percentages. Uh, when you go to ELR or all the flavors, don't always trust a recipe because you might be sorry. uh, I'd say just do research, basically YouTube research, learn from the people who've been around for a long time, their little tricks of the trade, and you'll learn a lot. Yeah, I mean, but you got to watch the whole video. You can't, just watch certain parts. Okay, that's enough. You got to listen, because while that person's mixing up a recipe, they might be telling you a little secret what that flavoring's actually doing to that recipe to make it vape so good.
Right.
So you got to do your research. That's the main thing I tell new mixers and people building coils. Don't be scared. That's the worst thing to be. Don't be worried if you're going to mess up a little piece of wire. Daggone it. You got a big old roll of it,
Well, and I don't think anybody, the first time that they made a coil or tried to make a coil, made it just right. I mean, it's just like mixing. You got to practice and kind of fine tune your craft.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just recently, me and Scott Rollins, Simple Vapes, have been playing around with the Nichrome 80 wires, and I won on Black Cat Whiteface some of his coils.
Mm-hmm.
That he's using square wire, 28 gauge 4-core square Nichrome 80, which is a very, very good coil. I love them coils. So I bought me some square wire. First time I ever messed with it. So I'm gonna do some videos. There might be some cussing. I'm gonna try to do a 4-core alien like he did. That's gonna be an interesting video. Boy, I might be cussing up a storm. So come and watch me cuss.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Every once in a while it happens, and sometimes I think that's what it takes to get the job done.
Well, I've never done an alien coil, so this is going to be whoop whoop for real.
All right. Well, I think that's all I have. Do you have anything else? You want to plug your channel? Where can they find your recipes?
Everything is Hippy Vapes. Hippy. Okay. They're on YouTube. You can join Hippy Vapes group on Facebook. Definitely join DIY Down Under. That's a really, really good group to join if you haven't joined them. Really, really good show. I wish I could come in and join more often. It's football season, man, and Alabama's ranked #1, and my wife's an Alabama fan, and I'm an Auburn fan. So, just spread the word of vaping. Don't give up. Keep vaping. Stay off them stinky ass cigarettes. They're bad for you. That's pretty much, the only places you can really find me. That's all I do. I'm a simple man. Like I always say at every end of every video is peace, love, and harmony. Have fun with it.
So that was Hippy Vapes. As always, there'll be a link to his ELR, a link to his YouTube channel, and a link to his recipes in the description. Y'all go by and check him out. If you haven't watched any of his videos, they're so enjoyable to watch. Like I said, he's just a happy guy. Outside of that, recipes will follow this per usual. Y'all, if you made it to this far in the video, thank you very much for watching. Whenever you get here, if you watched it all in one setting or it took you a couple times, whatever, I appreciate y'all watching. Also, in the future videos for this, I'm going to try to make them a little more DIY involved. I'm still going to do the backgrounds and like how long they smoked and those kind of things. But, I set out to do a DIY channel, so we need to talk some DIY. So we'll start that with this next video. Next Saturday's video will be Chrono Vapes. Go over and check out his channel on YouTube. Uh, as far as that goes, we'll see you on the next one. You all stay safe, keep trucking, and keep on vaping.